everyone, this is Penny with In Stitches with Penny. Today we're going to make the Cocoon Cardigan. See? Today we're going to make the Cocoon Cardigan by Jalie. I just love this one. It's just so comfortable, and I've got kind of a rose garden explosion going on here. And I found this other fabric that's just really a soft knit. It almost feels like a suede almost, but it's real soft and drapey, as you can see. And so I made this one as well, and then I made one for my daughter for her birthday out of the poppies. So I'm not all roses here. I do have a little poppy going on here. And so it's a real simple pattern. It's go to jalie.com and download this pattern. You won't regret it. The nice thing about a PDF pattern is you have all of the sizes. So, you know, if you do go to Joann's and buy a Simplicity, I find once I've cut into it, then I can't use any other size. However, I could be smart and trace over it. I just don't do that. I've never done that. So I love the PDF patterns that these indie pattern companies provide. And this is one of my favorites. I love this cardigan. It takes about 2 hours to make, tops. Hour and a half, I think, is what I had tied up in this, because I made an infinity scarf that's not a part of the pattern, but I do have a video out to show you how to do that. And this is like 30 minutes, so 2 hours total here. So you have 4 pieces. You have the front, you have the back, you have this band, and it's really long, and you have a cuff. That's all the pattern pieces you have. In the beginning, you're going to want to sew your shoulder seam and your side seam. And so you want to stitch from the top up here down to the cuff, and you want to start at the bottom at the hemline and come towards the cuff. That way it's all sewn to where it'll hang really nice. So once you have that, you've got the shell, then all you have to do is put these bands on. So I usually put the cuff on first because it's just simple. And this is simple too, it's just a lot of it. It's just very long. But all I did was serge everything. I didn't even use a sewing machine on any of the 3 that I've made. I used the serger completely. And then I just added a little scarf. I thought about adding a scarf in this fabric, but it would be kind of a lot because I'll show you. I made a scarf for my rose explosion here, and it is a lot, I will say. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. You know, I've got the beautiful draping here, and then I've got all of this up here at my neck. So, you know, sometimes I might feel like wearing it, but I really think a solid would accentuate the rose garden explosion just a little better. So I do like the pink that I found to go with this one. So join me and I'll show you how to make this very quickly, and I think you'll be hooked too. So now we're going to assemble the cardigan. The first step is the front piece. Just make sure the neckline notch is visible. This is very important for an easy neckband application later. So you're going to want to pin the front to the back at the shoulder seams, and then stitch from the neck to the bottom of the sleeve. Then you're going to pin at side and underarm seam, and then stitch from the bottom of the hem to the bottom of the sleeve. Now we're going to continue with the other side. We're going to do the same type of construction, match your notches, and place the front onto the back side, and you're going to pin down the arm from the neck down to the band, and then you're going to pin the underarm seam, and then you're going to stitch from the neck down to the arm, and then from the hemline up the side seam towards the band. You can use your serger or your sewing machine. The choice is yours. Now that we've sewn the seams, I like to take my garment to the iron. I do like to iron it flat just to get it kind of takes the wrinkles out of it, and then I turn it inside out, and then I will go ahead and press the seams. You can press them open if you want. Since I serged mine, I can't press them open, so I just kind of choose. I usually press it towards the back of the garment, and that just gives your garment just such a more professional look. Don't leave anything unpressed. You always want to use your iron. Now, if you're not sure if you've got your iron too hot, go ahead and test that out on a sample piece, and then you'll know that you can take the iron to your garment. Or you can also use a press cloth. A silk organza press cloth works wonders, and it helps from keeping it helps, what am I trying to say? It helps from scorching. That's what I'm trying to say. So be sure to iron. I like to iron after each time I sew. It just keeps the garment crisp and clean, and it just looks more professional. So don't be afraid to use your iron. Do put it on the right setting. Every iron is a little bit different. I tend to keep mine on the hot side, but I don't want to burn my fabric. This was just a polyester blend, and I could use a pretty warm setting on this one. And then once it's all ironed, then I can go to the next step. Now we're ready to attach the cuff to the bottom of the sleeve. So fold the cuff right sides together and stitch to form a loop, just like this. We'll do that on both sides. Fold wrong sides together and mark the half. I do like to mark the half point because that will make sense when you're putting it on your sleeve. So once you've stitched that side, go ahead and iron it, and then you're going to want to take the cuff and you're going to want to put wrong sides together, and that will fold it in half, and that will form your cuff. So at that point, you're going to match your side seams with the seam and that half point that you marked previously on your cuff. So again, just match it up, just take your time and pin it, and put wrong sides together so the right side is showing. And then you'll be ready to pin this generously onto your garment, onto the cuff, down at the bottom of the sleeve. Now you can baste it if you want to. Sometimes if I'm working with a real slippery fabric, I will baste that along. I didn't need to do that this time. I just went ahead and pinned it, and then I pinned it at the edge of the sleeve to form that cuff. So pretty simple, and you'll do that on both sides. And then really the last step is to put the band on. So we're almost done. Once you've sewn the cuffs onto the sleeves, then go ahead and press them really flat. So then it just looks really nice. I like to push the seam allowance towards the sleeve. I don't usually press it downwards, it always goes up. You can go ahead and even top stitch if you like. I didn't think this fabric needed top stitching, so I didn't worry about that. I just made sure that everything was pressed nicely and it just looked really crisp. So the next step is you're going to want to find the center point in the back neckline and at the bottom of the hem. And you can just fold it in half and find that center point. That's going to help you put the neckband on. So you're going to want to go ahead and sew the neckband together at the short ends. So unpin the pattern piece off of your fabric, and then you're going to take that with right sides together. I know they're wrong sides together at this point, and you're just kind of noticing I'm marking what is the back. Really, it's just a long band, but you want the back to be on the notched side, and that helps you construct it a whole lot easier. So just stitch along there, along both sides, and you're going to make this big, huge tube. And then we're going to do the same thing we did with the cuffs, and we're going to fold it in half with wrong sides together. Yes, wrong sides together. We're so used to doing right sides together, but this time we're going to do wrong sides together. And then you're going to pin it onto the cardigan and stitch it and press it, and you're done. Now that the garment is completely constructed, it's really important to go ahead and press everything down, especially that band, that neck band. Otherwise it might just kind of pop out. So you just want it to lay really nice, and just take your time and press it all the way around. And then you're done. So here's the finished product. I know it's the Rose Garden Explosion, but I love it. It looks great with black pants, a black sweater. I even made an infinite scarf, so we have even more Rose Explosion. So thanks for joining me. So there you have it. We just made a cardigan in an hour and a half. But I quickly showed you in just a few minutes. So you can see there's not that many difficult pieces. Actually, I don't think there's any difficult pieces. I think this is a great place to start. If you're new to sewing, there's not really any fitting. Just go by the bust line and pick out your pattern. That's what I did. So super easy, and I hope you'll make more. Let me know what you make. Go ahead and tag me, hashtag #InStitchesWithPenny. I'd love to see what you've done. And okay, so I have a little tip. I had this idea the other day. I thought maybe instead of the bands, or we could leave the bands, we could also make this reversible. Right now it's not reversible, but you could put 2 pieces of fabric together, tuck the band in, and then turn it around. I might try that next time if I can find 2 pieces of fabric that really go together nicely. So like and subscribe. I'm excited to do more videos for you, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.